weren't roommates or childhood besties, or even that close at first.
We met in a 1 Corinthians 13 small group and basically trauma bonded over being the unfun friends.
Not the ones who take the shots. We're the ones who carry the Band-Aids.
We're not the ones who flirt at brunch, but we're the ones overthinking the group text.
But we're done apologizing for being deep. The unfun friends, let's talk about it. We dive into the real stuff no one's texting about.
Singleness, faith, body image, mental health, autoimmune struggles, grief, burnout, friendships, and so much more.
With a little chaos, a little candor, and a lot of comfort.
This one's for the girls who feel like too much and not enough all at the same time. So, let's talk about it. I guess we should start?
Yeah, let's go. Ready?
Okay, welcome back, guys.
What's up, guys?
Episode 2 of the Unfun Friends. Let's talk about it. And what are we talking about today?
We're talking about body image today.
What a topic.
Big one.
I'm excited about it, though, just because
Me too.
I feel like there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And
So context, I walked in to film this, and I was like, we're talking about body image today, right? Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Marlon was like, no, we're talking about comparison. And I was like, all right, we're going to shift gears because I'm on fire right now when it comes to, like, body image, all the things.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Lord has been really speaking to me in this area because, you know, we've kind of talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been struggling more with body image and, like, the eating disorder. I mean, I guess I should kind of give, like, a little timeline, like, testimony of what I've walked through. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess we should do our icebreaker.
Okay. So our icebreaker today is, what would your body say to you if it could talk to you? And I mean, like, in a sense, I guess our bodies do talk to us every day, but, like, say it could actually be like, yo, like, what would it say to you? I feel like mine would beg me to drink water because all I drink is caffeine.
You know those reels?
Or to eat, like, vegetables.
You know those reels where it's like somebody going about their daily life, but it'd be like a doctor, like in medical school or something, and it's all the different things. Like, it's the same guy, but he's playing the role in different clips of, like, his brain, his stomach, his heart, and stomach will be like making noises.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, oh, I think we're gonna get water, and then it's another energy drink, and it's like,
Yes, that's my tummy. Or, like,
so
so what is it with your heart rate when you work out? It's like 200 minus your age is how high it should be.
I have
Your max?
no earthly idea.
Can I look this up?
Sure.
You answer while I look this up.
Okay. If my body could talk to me, what would it say? It would probably tell me to rest, which is so funny. I think that's how I know that, like, I need to take a chill pill. That's my answer.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because then you need to rest.
Yeah, I think it would tell me I need to rest.
Okay, that's valid.
And then I was just saying that's so funny because, like, I don't want to rest, but that's my answer. And so that's how I know the Lord's like, you need to rest. I need to learn how to rest.
And how they're like, I feel like that's another podcast we could talk about is, like, different types of rest.
Yeah.
You know?
We've talked about, yeah.
I'm
pretty sure it's on our list.
Yeah. Well, you know, to get my heart rate, it's a lot of math. So what I was going to say is, I feel like when I do CrossFit sometimes and I'm running, the few times I'll actually, like, run outside in the heat, my body's like, what are you doing to me? You suck. But yeah.
Well, the heat, oh my gosh, did you know that? Okay, so I'm training for a half marathon right now, right?
That's crazy.
This morning I ran 5 miles. I was so proud of myself. I think that's the longest I've gone in, like,
that's
one
awesome,
go to just, like, put in my headphones and go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure when I played soccer and, like, basketball, you know, I was consistently like running that much in practice or whatever.
Not like at, like,
but not like,
yeah.
So I was really proud of myself.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
That was really bad.
That's better.
That's better.
What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about how you ran.
Oh, the heat.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, because with this training, like, I feel like my algorithm on social media is, like, running and stuff like that. But there was this one, I think
honestly, I've had huge fitness just, like, swarm on social media right now.
I feel like that's going to go into our conversation.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But this reel was saying, like, for every 5 degrees above 60 degrees, your mile pace goes up roughly 20 to 30 seconds. That's how much the heat, like,
impacts it. That makes sense, though, because especially with breathing, and then with the humidity as well.
Because I'll be like one time, this was so dumb. I went on a run in, like, at the hottest part of the day, and I actually thought I was going
To
die.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I just horrible
It's like
at this?
hearing your like heartbeat in your ears.
Yes.
Your chest is like
and like my feet are literally burning
and melting. Yes.
and feeling like I
Yeah.
had blisters all over my feet.
Yes.
Like not really, but that's what they felt
No,
like.
yeah.
They were so hot. But then when I saw that reel, I was like, oh, I don't just suck at running.
No.
The heat actually makes a difference.
It does. And this is another tangent. But my coach at OTM, he actually is leaving Monday to go to Colorado, where he's from, to do like some like really long run, like overnight or whatever. I don't understand.
Oh my gosh, like one of those like 100-mile or something craziness.
Yes. And this man looks like he stepped off like a rowboat, like from the Viking times. Like he's like super fit and like he can do this, and I respect it so much. But anyways, all to say, my mom and I were talking to him, and we're like, hey, how are you training for this? Like with like different altitudes and everything, like you're gonna go up early and train for it. And he was like, actually, like you don't have to do that, because the best way to train for stuff like that is literally to run in the humidity and heat in the south.
Yeah, fair, because
so with all that science behind it, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why I love running in the winter, because I feel like I can just go and go and I'm never out of breath.
Yeah. I would rather feel like I'm dying after than during.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when it's cold, I could work out all day and like obviously I'd be tired. But my energy levels don't feel like they deplete. When it's hot, I step outside and walk to my car, and I'm like,
when it's hot, I
want to take a nap.
I'm like, did I hit menopause already? I'm 20.
Yeah. I was just telling my mom that I've been like having like sensory issues in my clothes when I'm hot. I want to rip them off my body.
Woo! Take them off! Yeah!
But literally, I want to
like
not
all the
have
guys in
clothes
the
on
gym
my
can take off
body.
their shirt, and I'm just like,
I can't do it.
Stupid modesty.
No, but my mom was like, because I think I was having like a whole come apart on the phone, and she was like, are you good? And I was like, I need to move to the north. I can't be hot anymore. I'm hot all the time. I wake up and I'm sweating. I take one breath and it's like I just ran 50 miles in 100 degrees.
No, you know what's embarrassing? Is when like people are like, do you want to Just Dance? And I'm like, I like Just Dance. But then we're looking like, why are you so sweaty? I don't know.
Because I'm dancing. Dancing is a
putting forth effort in.
When I'm doing Just Dance, you better not be in the way of my remote.
No, I know.
Bust you in the
Do you know when it's like Justin Bieber was like, it's not clocking with you that I'm sitting on business, is it?
What just came out of your mouth? I've never heard that in my life.
That's a real. Justin Bieber's like, it's not clocking to you, man. I'm standing on business. So that's how I feel when people are like,
to you?
Yes. I didn't say it. I'm quoting it. And when people are like, why are you sweating after Just Dance? It's not clocking to you. I'm standing on business.
You know that video where the guy, what's he say about, it's like the guy who's just ridden his bike and he's like, says something about when he sweats. You know what? Never mind. But he's like,
no, you can't just leave us on that cliffhanger.
He says something like about professional athletes. I don't know. It's like funny.
Okay.
Give me your phone. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just gonna like look it up super fast.
No, you're good.
Biker guy.
So guys, what would your body say to you if it could talk?
Sweating.
To you. While we're on this break. You think about that. Oh, okay. I feel like mine would be like, give me fresh food, stop giving me bars.
Protein bars all the time. Yeah.
Or like
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like trying to find like a protein bar recipe that's not just like processed. You know?
Yeah.
But then it's hard because I don't have as much protein. It's like high protein bars and it's like 8 grams.
It's like I care, but not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that though.
I don't know. I just can't eat them all the time.
I can't either. That's why I like the Built Puff, because it's like a different texture.
Yes, I love those like marshmallows. One of my friends called me and she was like, I just made a s'more out of a Built Puff bar.
Sesame.
She literally put it in the microwave with I can't find it.
What are you trying to find?
It's the guy who's just finished a race or something, and he's talking about sweating, and he says something like hilarious about how like when he's sweating, he just reminds himself that like professional athletes, I don't know. It's funny.
But I want to know. What does it remind him of?
I don't know. Guy, I have in the search bar guy sweating video.
That doesn't help.
Guy
Like literally say guy sweating after race says we're athletes
sweating.
remind.
Guy sweating after race. Video meme. Yes!
Yeah, wait, really?
Is it real sweat? It's real sweat. I'm a high performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat, sweat.
Wait, I have seen this.
Literal.
It's so
Is that
sad.
real sweat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now, and everyone's when
Was
someone's
like,
"Are you sweating?" I'm just like,
athlete
"Athlete
sweat, baby. What? Yes, it's real sweat.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, that video gets me every time.
Okay, I feel like that was a pretty good icebreaker.
That was a great icebreaker.
I ate with that.
You did.
That was fun.
Madeline came up with that icebreaker. It was pretty solid.
That one was fun. I like that one. Okay,
My knee's about to come off my body. There we go.
so on brand for the body image.
Literally.
So just have anything you want to like start with, or like have points that we could kind of like dive into?
Yeah. I feel like I should preface with
Oh yeah,
a little bit of my
a little
story.
bit your story.
And I feel like you should
Yeah.
give like a little
Yeah.
bit yours too,
Yeah, for sure.
or like whatever you want to share.
You kick it off.
All right. Where do I even want to start? Okay, so obviously I'm 23. Well, not obviously, I haven't said that, but I'm 23 right now.
Actually, 23. She just had a birthday.
Yeah. I feel like some of my earliest memories about like myself and just like life and childhood in general are like negative as far as like body image.
Yeah.
And feeling like I was in a bad or like ugly body.
Yeah. Can I ask like a quick question?
Yeah.
We've talked about this, but like, do you remember like the first time that you became like body conscious and that like you really started labeling yourself by like your size?
Yeah. I was in, well, I don't remember what grade I was in, but I have this distinct, like I can see myself in this hot pink swimsuit with white polka dots. And it was the first time that I did swim team. And it was when we lived in Austin. And we moved to Dallas before I went into third grade. So it was like first or second grade when I started swim team. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But one of the girls said something about my stomach. I also remember being a dancer, which didn't last long. Like I was little.
Me too. Yep.
My mom was a dancer, and so me and my sister did dance when we were babies. So I had to have been in kindergarten when I like did dance, and it didn't go much longer. But I can also remember feeling like already at that age comparing my body in a leotard to other girls.
Well, when you're standing in front of mirrors and everyone else, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal.
I relate to that. I feel like I had two instances. One was when I was in third grade, and I was wearing like the knee-high rider rider boots. Looked so cute, but I looked down, I was like, why are my calves so freaking big? And I looked all around, and I was like, well, everyone else has like tiny little legs.
Yeah, like they could kick and their boot would fly off.
Yeah. And I was just like, I've always had a curvier figure. And then with that, and when I did dance, I quit in third grade. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
But before that, I just remember standing at this bar and doing our warm-ups or whatever. And like the teacher kept coming up to me and she was like, you need to have your like torso and everything in a straight line. My spine isn't in a straight line. Like it does curve out naturally, like towards my bottom, and it just does because I'm curvier. And then she would like tuck my butt underneath me, and then be like, "Don't stick your stomach out." And then she push my stomach underneath, and she's like, "Just don't stick your butt out." And I'm like, "You're telling me to be a line and to like manipulate my body in a way I physically can't do."
Yeah.
And I think I was in second grade when that happened.
Yeah.
So like from this point on, I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. And then I can remember in second grade we had like the entire second grade did this project where. We've talked about this before.
Yes, yeah.
You get to we got to come up with our own invention, and we got to like draw a picture of it and like write about it. And my invention was like this machine that you could like kind of like an iPad, and you would choose like what food or like drink you wanted, and then it would blow air into your mouth that tasted like the food, but you didn't have to consume it. And I can remember being like, you can taste taste all the chocolate cake you want, because that was my favorite dessert at the time. It still is, without having to like eat it. Like, but also I think about that. Like I was in second grade. Like we both babysit and love kids. The second graders I'm around, like they're just babies.
They are babies.
What like And I rack my brain. I mean, I do know where I was like hearing those messages. I mean, like within family, on the TV, like radio stations.
It's everywhere.
Like it's everywhere.
It's literally everywhere, and it's like, we'll do another like podcast on this, but it's like the song that you'd say to kids, like, careful little eyes, what you see, and ears, what you hear, and like mouth, what you speak. And I just feel like that's so true. And it's, you can kind of guard your eyes and your ears to a certain degree, but like messages, like with pertaining to body image, which is why we want to do this episode, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in grocery stores, it's on boxes, it's on labels, it's on TV, it's on the phones, it's in stores. Can we just talk about briefly how I have never, ever gone brand to brand in jean sizes and had the same jean size in anything? Why?
Women's clothing is never the same size.
Like, literally, why? We are in 2025 and one jean size not the same as the other one.
It's ridiculous.
If we can make shoes the same size across the board, why can't we do it with jeans?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a tangent. But
it's so valid because it makes you, it's just another factor into being
that like messes with
my
your
body's
brain.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, Mandela effect?
Yes.
Like where you see them and you're like, I swear it was like that. It's literally, it's low-key gaslighting. Where you're like, but I'm like, wait, but like it fit and like what?
Yeah.
And
it's just brutal.
It messes with the brain. But anyways, I interrupted your journey. You're talking about
no, you're good.
Swim team. That's when you're kind of first started being body conscious.
That was the first, and then that memory of second grade, like that being my invention. And then I can remember like third grade, the girls at school. This is when we had moved to Dallas. My family had moved to Dallas. All my extended family is in Austin, so that was like a huge shift for our family.
Was your intermediate family that moved?
Yeah. And the girls at the lunch table would like comment like on my size and like what I was eating, and this one girl like called me a pig.
That also makes me think, I'm like, what were those kids being told at home to make them think that was okay to go share?
Right.
Not that it makes what they said okay, but I'm just kind of like,
right. And like even like hearing things about bodies and like how you fix it and like why certain bodies are wrong coming from like mentors or like older women or men like in your life who, okay, I'm stumbling on my words.
No, you're good.
Like even when those people, like it's not coming from a child, and so it feels like there's more weight. Like, okay, say your mom or like your aunt or like a mentor or a teacher or a coach or whatever the figure is in your life, an older person says something to you about your body, and that feels like it carries more weight because
it does,
you look up to them. Yeah.
And they are an authoritative like position over you.
And even that, like I've learned in my journey, like healing and like having forgiveness for certain people, like even those people, it doesn't make it right what they said, but more times than not, they're repeating
what happened to them
or what they've heard.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make it right. But the battle with body image and food and all of that like didn't start with them.
So I feel like I've always tried to, like, I saw the phrase, and, like, I guess in another episode was, like, best and worst advice you've received, but, like, don't comment on something to somebody if they can't change it within, like, a couple hours or, like, a day.
Yeah. And it's
just
different.
Don't do it. Like, I could be like, oh, Ella, like, your hair looks like a mess. Like, fix it. You can do that.
Yeah.
And I can say it, I would say it nicer than that, but I don't need to be like, I don't know, like, look at something that's, like, what's I say?
Yeah.
Like,
or I don't know, saying you can't be a dancer because you're in a bigger body. Like, okay, since when is there one size body that can be a dancer? Like, I'm sorry, that just doesn't. But like, it's not just diet culture. Like, that's our culture.
It is our culture.
It's not culture and diet culture. I fully believe that like diet culture is culture.
No, it is.
I haven't not found any separation from it other than being like
our culture
making
is just
my own
unnatural is what it
separation.
is. It's, you need to either, what's it called, inject something, you need to shrink something. Like everything about it's unnatural. And I feel like people let me listen to this and we're only talking about women. Yeah, I feel like specifically like being smaller does pertain more so to women than men, but also like I do want to acknowledge that guys do also have unfair standards in culture, and that is also equally as toxic for them as well.
Yeah.
So, and like I do think girls can be toxic to guys just as much as guys can be toxic to girls, but obviously like since we are two women, we're gonna be more focused.
You want to know what I read? I can't remember if I read it or heard it,
girl.
The like statistics, but it's like 97% of women struggle with body image. You
Mhm.
want to know what the percentage is for guys? 95.
Yeah. And so I feel like that's so good to mention just because even like we're gonna talk about our personal experience and we are
Yeah.
women, and I feel like a lot of like things that we kind of struggle with is like
Yeah.
we're not small enough. In quotes, we're not small enough.
Yeah.
But
it's different for guys because they have different like comparison
yeah,
points
and they have very
or like
standards that are
Yes,
pushed
yes,
upon
yes,
them.
yes.
But I don't want to belittle like their struggle
No.
because I also feel like that's another toxic point in society that is getting somewhat better. But like just claiming that like all guys are the enemy and they're always just like preying upon girls and it's
Yeah.
only girls having fair standards. Which yes, guys, some guys do prey upon girls and there are unfair standards for girls,
Yeah.
but women can also prey upon men and there are unfair standards.
Women
for them
prey
too.
upon women.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we set that disclaimer just
No, for
before we
sure.
like forget.
For sure.
But anyways.
Yeah, so then in 3rd grade, it was like bullying at lunch and just like I've always been like taller and matured
Mm-hmm.
faster than all the girls, so that was definitely like a big insecurity. And then there were other things that happened that I don't need to get into, like in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But I can like I was already an athlete, so being an athlete has always been
Definitely
like a huge.
Well, I mean, because you're
part.
literally your body's your instrument.
Yeah.
Like it's your tool
Yeah.
to do what.
And I mean, I was playing soccer
You
when
love.
I was like 3-4 years old. My dad played soccer, and so me and my sister played from a really young age, and we've always just been like a really athletic family.
You know what else I feel like that has contributed to body image? Like on that same vein of you starting out very early in athletics, being like in your family and all that stuff. But it's always like, I feel like as kids now, you can't just have a hobby. You can't just do a sport or do dance unless you're like, I'm committed into this till high school so I can be like the best and the pro at it. And I feel like that's also taken away from just the joy of sports and has made it into more of a body image thing because it's like,
yeah, well, it can't just
are you
be
fast
fun.
enough? Are you strong enough? Like, are you going to be the best athlete here? And so you can't be a kid anymore. You're automatically focused on, well, how can I make my body better to be the best athlete?
Right. Yeah, it's like parents are getting personal trainers for their kids when they're like literal babies.
I'm like, it's a after school activity.
It takes the joy out of it.
It does. I mean, it's not fun. It's a job.
But that's also got to be so hard as a parent. Like, how do you walk that line of like
you don't want
wanting your kid to love it and work hard, but also like pushing them to be the best that they can be,
and also not wanting them to be at disadvantage later because you know everyone else is doing them.
Right.
Then you can be like, if so and so ran off a cliff, are you gonna do it too? Like,
yeah.
I don't have the answers.
That's got to be a
that
hard
one.
line because
I don't
it's
have
like
the answers to that.
there is an advantage. Like, I love that my parents had me in sports at a young age.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
There were so many.
And I feel like you can learn so many great lessons in sport, just about like routine and teamwork and regimen and respect. Definitely about like terms of respect.
Yeah. But anyways, I feel like that's a whole nother conversation too, of just like sports and parenting and all the things. But so then like at that point, like with being in sports, like I'd already at that age like grasped the concept of like earning my food with exercise.
Yep.
And so I feel like I really struggled with that. And middle school, I also was like bullied for being like the good kid and for being the Christian girl.
Yes.
And so it was like I just was never good enough in any area. But then like middle school, like 7th and 8th grade, when I really started to excel in my sports and was getting like approval, validation, attention, I was like, oh,
I finally have something.
Yeah. And so I was just like, that was my identity. And I was good. I was good at it. I'm in high school. I made the varsity basketball team as a freshman. I started, like I played varsity track. I made it to state in 400 my freshman year. It was my entire world.
Yeah.
And I loved Jesus. Like I was chasing after him, but that area of my life was an idol and was my identity. And I didn't realize that until I was diagnosed with an eating disorder, which happened my sophomore year. I'd been struggling with like eating disorder behaviors, but I got busted, quote unquote. Like one of my basketball coaches, who is still today one of my like biggest supporters and mentors, was like noticing that I was not okay. And I was confiding in her because she has a story just with depression and like mental health. And so she was someone who I was telling her like, I am surrounded by like my teammates and my friends and I feel so alone.
Yeah.
And so she knew. And then we also girls basketball was like bottom of the food chain in our high school.
No, it's everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah. So instead of getting like first period or eighth period, like practiced where you could get either there early in practice or like, stay late, our basketball period was fourth period. It was booty. Like we had 3 classes and then basketball, but then we had everyone on the basketball team had fifth period lunch because sometimes our practice would go a little bit longer. But then, so I ate in the high school cafeteria one time my entire 4 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because we always ate together, either in the locker room or like in our coach's office. But that ended up being a huge blessing because my coach was like picking up on things that I was doing. So I ended up like confiding in her, and she was like, okay, I'm going to give you a week to talk to your parents. And if you can't, then like.
Because she had that legal obligation.
Yeah. So I was not going to talk to my parents. At that point, I like didn't see an issue with it. I kind of did because my performance was starting to tank. And I just felt like crap all the time. I mean, my body was just like, at that point, I mean, I didn't know this at the time, but was like in survival mode. Because I also struggled with the like, how is my body performing so well? Like in that time of being so sick, I set school records.
Well,
which I feel like just validated.
It does.
It just validated the eating disorder. I still struggle with that. Like that's what I'm working on in therapy right now. Is like healing that, like, because there's still a part of me that's like wishes I just listened to like coaches and like didn't go to treatment rather than listening to like my treatment team who was like, you need to step away from sports. That's the whole thing. I'm doing like EMDR, trauma therapy on that one right now. But anyways, I was like in therapy, went to a higher level of care of like PHP, which is partial hospitalization program. It's like an all day thing, but you get to go home at night. And then just kind of spiraled. I have like over the timeline of high school and then into college, I've been to the psych ward 4 times. So I was depressed and really struggling in that area as well. But then I went to residential treatment for the first time in like December of my sophomore year and just kind of faked my way through it. Like I figured out pretty quickly how to be the like perfect patient and could give like the right answers. Then went home, ended up not doing well, went back for like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but like 10 weeks. It felt so long. But I actually did the work there that time and then came home, did pretty good my senior year of high school. And then I actually went to Baylor right out of high school and then ended up relapsing like not even 3 weeks in.
And so you went to Baylor for sports?
Kind of.
Ish.
I was going to, but I had to step away.
Right, and that's what you said.
I say I was going to. I had options. I had scholarship options for basketball and for track.
Okay.
And I just kind of got to like, I mean, I couldn't. I don't think, I hate saying this because I wish it was different, but I don't think there was any way I could have been a collegiate athlete without going back to the eating disorder.
Yeah, so like then you stepped away from Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went to be a student and then ended up relapsing anyways and having to medically withdraw. And that's what brought me to Birmingham. Was the only treatment center that didn't have a wait list was in Birmingham. So that's kind of the timeline. And then I went back to Dallas after I finished treatment of like December of 21 and did ministry with a high school mentor for about 6 months, and then came back to Birmingham and started nannying for the family I live with now and still like nanny for. Which has been like one of the greatest gifts of my entire life.
Yeah.
At that time, they just had their first baby. So I started when he was like 11 weeks old, I think. And they just had their third. She's 5 days old. So they have 3-year-old, 16-month-old, and then little baby Squish.
That's so crazy.
Who is so tiny. But that's like, that'll be something I talk about today of like those 3 babies and how much I love them has healed so much of me, especially the younger 2 being girls. Like I look at them and like my prayer from the day they were born and like even when their mom was pregnant with them, like I've always prayed that they would never struggle with the body image the way I have, because like I talk to myself so mean, right? And it would absolutely wreck me
if someone talked to them that way.
Or if they talk to themselves that way. Like if they came to me and said to me what I say to myself, I would be distraught. but it's helped me be like, okay, if I would never want them to even think that, like, why is it okay for me
you
to say that to myself?
For sure.
That's the whole thing. So anyway, that's kind of my, like, I'm still in therapy. I'm kind of stepping out of a season of struggling more with, like, the eating disorder and relationship with exercise and all of that. But I feel like it's your turn to share, and then we can kind of dive into, like,
mine is not nearly as, like, it's deep, but, like, I still have, like, my own little struggles. But, like,
okay, well, just because you didn't go to treatment,
no,
doesn't
yeah,
mean
but,
it's
like,
not valid. You know,
yeah.
like, because sometimes people will say, like, oh, well, mine's, you know, I was never diagnosed.
It's not like a comparison Olympics, like, whatever.
Yeah, no.
So I've always had a I've always had a curvier body figure. My dad's side of the family has a curvy body figure, and my mom's absolutely beautiful. Not as much as a curvy body figure, so it's like, growing up with that was just a little bit difficult, and seeing those differences. I'm youngest of 5, so 2 of my sisters and my brother had, like, my mom's body type, which was very, like, skinny and, like, not curvy, and then my oldest sister and I had the curvier figures. And that was kind of, like, struggle to grow up with because I was always taller than a lot of the girls and, like, again, curvier when everyone was very, like, petite and skinny, and that was very difficult just because he'll make comments to me, like, guys would be like, oh, your hands are, like, you have huge hands, and then, like, they'd be like, oh, like, you'd be good at catching, like, the football or whatever. I'm not athletic, but
whatever. She just CrossFit.
Yeah, I can't catch a ball, though, to save my life.
Okay, well, that's different. You're so athletic.
And so I was like, in my head, I was like, is that a compliment that they think I'd, like, be good at catch a ball, or is that me them making fun of my hands? And then I've had girls comment on, like, I have cellulite on my legs. Somewhat is genetic, but people would comment and be like, well, why is that cellulite? Like, I'm like,
why even
is that a bee on your face?
On that?
But, like, not really. But that's what I want to do. But they make comments about that. And then I didn't do sports growing up just because I think I was burned after dance and everything. And
for sure,
just with that, and then kind of what we were talking about earlier, where you have to, like, commit to sports at a young age to kind of be, like, in the little, I guess, team. And if it's not,
to have the advantage,
and if it's not your one-all be-all, good luck. You didn't join it when you were 4 years old.
Yeah, if you didn't start young and you weren't in, like, a club sport,
yeah, too bad.
Then you really couldn't even play a school sport.
Yeah, and I also was at a private school, so it was, like, already a little bit cliquey, and the politics where the parents get to say who plays or whatever. And I was like, I didn't really want to touch on that. And all to say, I did not do sports throughout, like, middle school and high school. And then with that, like, I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I didn't realize I had an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's, which is hypothyroid. So it makes it to where antibodies eat your thyroid, which controls metabolism. Didn't know I had that. I ended up gaining a good bit of weight, and I've, like, deleted so many pictures where I just don't look at them. So people always ask me, like, give a picture, and I'm like, no, not if I can help it.
Also, like, what kind of question is
not
that?
In a mean way. Like, people would just be like, you're beautiful. Like, I'm just curious, like, was it really that bad? And, like, I think it wasn't as bad as sometimes I remember, just because body dysmorphia plays a part, of course. Sure. But it was real and it was there. And the way I know that is because people did not really, like, acknowledge me that much. Like, I was always nice, and, you know, like, people weren't necessarily mean to me, but I wasn't really necessarily acknowledged. And when I started to lose weight, when I started doing CrossFit my junior year, and when I really lost a lot of weight by my senior year, I suddenly, like, mattered.
Yeah.
And it's like that thing that kind of reinforces it, to where it's like, okay, well, how big you are really does change how people treat you, because I was invisible before, but then when I lost a lot of weight, it was suddenly like, Madeline, we haven't hung out. Like, we should totally, like, talk more. Like, let's hang out after school sometime. And people would actually be talking to me and, like, wanting me to sit with them. And I'm like, literally nothing has changed about me other than that I've lost weight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I really do think.
And that hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I was thankful that I wasn't having to live like a ghost anymore, but it also hurt. And then I had a family member one time. That was so embarrassing. It was in front of my entire extended family. And, like, I think deep down they meant well, but it was after I lost all my weight, he just started, like, crying. And he looked at me in front of everybody. He goes, and I just want to say, you look so beautiful now. And I was like, now. So, like, you thought I was ugly before. He didn't say that, but I'm like, what else am I supposed to think?
Yeah.
And you're going to stop my entire extended family to point out that I lost weight and that I used to be, like, fat?
Yeah.
That sucked. Yeah. That really sucked.
I get it. Because, so that December of 2021, when I, like, finished, I was gonna say graduated, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's not the word. The last like inpatient treatment stint that I did, when I went back to Dallas, I was like, it was so weird, like feels like a fever dream, because felt like I was doing so well spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
but I was so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of went to the opposite end of so like in treatment, you know, you're really trying to focus on like intuitive eating.
Mm-hmm.
And since I had like restricted so much, and like even the mental restriction of like you can't eat that or that or that, you know, I swung to the opposite end of like that's all I wanted to eat was like my fear foods, the things that I wouldn't let myself
Comfort
eat.
foods, yeah.
Yeah. Which like is a very normal part of like healing from an eating disorder, because your body is like felt so deprived of that, or even like mentally, like mental restriction is a huge thing, because if you're telling yourself no to something, or like, you know, when you're like, I really am craving that piece of cake, but maybe I should just have some fruit instead, then you end up eating all the fruit and the piece of cake you actually wanted. Why not just eat the piece of cake?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the eating disorder, and this is something I heard in treatment all the time, but the eating disorder will be more harmful than any food ever will be.
True.
So it's having to untrain that like good food, bad foods thing, because like foods are neutral. Like there's no such thing as a good or bad food. Like everything, what's the word I'm looking for? What do we used to say? Like you can basically, dang, I can't think of the word, but it was like everything in balance, for variety and moderation. It's like if you're only eating broccoli, like your body's not going to like that. And if you're only eating cake, your body's not going to like that.
It's kind of goes back to like the whole like anything in excess is not good.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
everything
I think
in moderation.
Same thing. Yeah.
Like on the same vein of like food, I feel like I also struggled. Mine was a lot of the people that I was like friends with or just like around. Oh my gosh! Like, tell me why was it weird to eat an actual meal? Why can we not eat a meal? Everyone would be like, no, I just want half a kid's meal. Can I have half a chicken nugget? No, I want a freaking burger and I want the whole thing. And like partially like sometimes I did overeat. But like sometimes I would not be overeating and I'm eating what a normal person should eat.
Yeah.
But like I'm just so full. I'm just like,
yeah, like, no, you're not.
And I'm like, how can I just like sink into the ground and it swallow me whole and I just not have to exist anymore?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I know where I was going with that. Because I swung to the other side, I gained a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And so like during that season when I moved back to Birmingham, like I was overweight. I was so scared to work out because I was afraid it was gonna make me relapse. So I literally wasn't moving my body at all. Which like exercise and eating disorder treatment is so touchy, because like I do think like for me, like that exercise needed to be taken away because I was abusing it, right? But then also, like, I felt like they just left me high and dry. Like, I didn't know how to incorporate it healthfully.
Well, it
so
took
then I was just
away
scared.
one of the most primary parts of your life.
Right. And, like, we know for mental health, period, like, movement is crucial.
Yeah, it is.
So, anyways, that's a whole different thing. But, like, once I started nannying, the family I nanny for, the parents are super fit and do CrossFit. And so she helped me, like, get back into working out. But yeah, I don't know what's going with that. But I get that, like, that period of my life, like, there are 0 pictures. Like, I don't even want. But for sure, body dysmorphia
makes me
is like
sad,
a
though,
huge...
because, like, that was my 7th through, like, junior year of high school that I just can't look at.
Yeah.
Like, I just
can't. It is sad, because it's also, like...
I'm like, I was literally a kid. Yeah. Like, I was a child. But anyways.
Yeah. And, like, there was some... Yeah.
But it's partially, like, my fault. Like, I could, like, buck up and grow up and look at it, but I just don't want to. So I
think there's there's definitely still healing there that, like,
we for sure
need to do. Which, yeah, obviously we know that. But that doesn't make it any less painful.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but continue on your...
I mean, that's kind of it. And then, like, I guess, like, even now, I feel like we each have our days where we're just kind of like, I hate how I look. Or it's like, I feel really big today. Or some days where I feel really great in the gym, like, I'm doing great. Like, I'm so thankful.
Yeah, and then there's other days where I, like, can hardly get through my workout because I can feel, like, I can feel my body. I don't...
It's just like, what's the point? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm still working on, like, a lot of the times when I work out, it's, like, justification. I still feel like, at least in this season where I've been struggling a little bit more, I wouldn't call it relapse at all, but like I
Yeah.
have been struggling with eating disorder stuff. And exercise has been punishment lately.
It feels like it's chore and punishment. It's
Yeah.
not a privilege and something that you're doing to like better yourself.
Yeah. And instead of like feeling my body so that I can move and be strong,
Mhm.
I'm moving my body so that I can eat. And
Yeah.
like that's a horrible way.
I feel like what we've talked about, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like what we've talked about a lot is like strengthening versus shrinking. Like
Mm-hmm.
to like change my mindset, just be like, I'm going here to get stronger. I'm going here to get better. I'm not going here to shrink. That's not what
Yeah.
this is for.
Yeah.
This is for me to get mentally stronger and physically stronger, however that may
Mhm.
look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard. You have to remind yourself every day.
Yeah.
You know? And we're going to do a separate podcast on working out.
Yeah.
And so like we'll go into a lot more of that stuff, but just like I feel like that's worth mentioning.
Yeah. And then just I feel like in my quiet time with the Lord the other day, I just was like kind of felt like I was at the end of myself, and I was like, I just want to be free from this.
Mm-hmm.
Like my entire life, basically, this has
Revolves
been a
around
battle.
it. Yeah.
And it's exhausting. Like I was telling, I think the mom that I nanny for, I was like, it's every day. I'm tired of waking up and being like, I'm gonna have to fight it again. And like there has been periods of time where it's not as big of a struggle, but like lately I feel like I've been really having to fight. Like, I mean, I say myself in my own mind, but like we know it's the enemy. And then I was like going back in one of my journals from like when I was in treatment, and it's like looking over notes from like, you know, our like group therapy and whatever. I was just kind of praying, talking to the Lord about it and about like freedom. And I feel like we've kind of talked about this before. But like I can say all day, I don't feel free. But I heard this somewhere else. Like you cannot wait to live in freedom until you feel free. Like feelings aren't going to happen automatically. Like changing your thoughts and changing how you live, like feelings going to follow.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not going to be overnight.
To a certain degree, sometimes fake it till you make it works.
Yep.
It works, honestly.
I feel like that's it. Sometimes the entirety of like eating disorder recovery is like,
fake it till you make that.
If I'm restricting or like using an eating disorder behavior, that doesn't help me feel free.
No.
Even though in my head and like the eating disorder and the lies and the enemy like twist it and it's like, oh, you're going to feel so much better or reach this goal or whatever if you do this. And it's like, no, I just feel even more suffocated by it. I was telling my mom, it's like that when I have felt like truly free is when I'm living like I'm free.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean like I can still do it and live like I'm free and it be scary.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was like, felt like I had that revelation from the Lord again of like, why are you waiting until you feel like almost like just do it, but not.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like a lot of times my pastor says like you don't base your life on feelings.
Yeah.
And that can go into a lot of different things. Like you're never going to do like a lot of times he says it as far as like you're never going to do the right thing if you're basing your life on feelings, which is true.
Yeah.
But it's also like things like that. Like you really like sometimes you just have to pull yourself up by your belt straps and
we need to do a whole nother episode on feelings because that's a whole other because like you know me, I'm a super emotional person, so like feelings are really important to me and guide a lot, I feel like, of like how I live my day to day.
I feel like it guides everybody even if they don't admit it.
Mm-hmm. But to a certain point it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know,
well, we're human.
Yeah, like I feel like being a super emotional person is one of like my greatest strengths, but we said this in the first episode.
Strengths
like
and weakness.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anyways,
yeah, we could definitely do one on that.
Let's talk about like body image.
Should we talk about
like in the church?
So I feel like under that, like what are subpoints? Like modesty can go underneath body image for sure.
But I feel like diet culture in the church is also like rampant.
I do. Okay, so this is a dual-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like your body's a temple. And I feel like that's been both weaponized and that's also been a good thing. Mm-hmm. So like weaponized people can look at you and be like, well, your body's a temple, like we're not working out all the time. Why do you look like that? Oh, you're healthy just like someone else healthy? Your body's not really that good of a temple. Or you can flip it and be like, when I go to work out now, I'm like, okay, like when I was really living a super just like sitting on the couch eating chip lifestyle, it's not making the best use of the body the Lord's given me, and I can make a better effort of fueling my body better and working out because the Lord has given me the ability, and my body's a gift from him, so I need to treat it as such.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that takes maturity and growth to view that verse like that, but I have seen that verse be weaponized.
Yeah. Well, because there's the, like, extremes, right? Of, like, okay, I'm going to actively engage in my eating disorder and being that extreme. Or I'm going to only sit on the couch and eat potato chips all day. And so it's like, where's that, like, medium?
Yeah.
Because it's totally different to be healthy and treat your body well and to just absolutely sabotage it in either extreme. But one time I heard this guy say that he would never respect a pastor or go to a pastor's church if the pastor didn't work out. And
interesting.
I guess I can kind of understand where he was coming from, because he's like, that would mean he's not disciplined. But then he also was talking about, like, the pastor's physique, and I'm like, okay, so since when is, like, your pastor
Last
being
I checked,
shredded
our identities in God,
and
we're there to hear the Holy Spirit speak through him, not to look at his body. That's just me, though.
Yeah. And that a guy said that, and I mean, whatever. But, like, I feel like, I don't know. It's hard because I have had a lot of women in the church, or I say in the church, but I guess that I'm using as an umbrella term of, like, women who I've really looked up to because of their faith and, like, ways they've encouraged me in my faith, like, spiritually, but who have really hurt me when it comes to, like, body image and food and, like, navigating that. Because it's been, like, really extreme of, like, do this, this, and this to look this way, and then that's, like, worthy or righteous or admirable.
Yeah.
And something about, like, okay, this is so, like, vulgar or graphic or whatever, but I would not be alive today if it wasn't for the Lord with all that I walked through.
Yeah.
And so when it's, like, hearing someone who, like, I really respect their faith say something like that, it feels, like, so much more personal than it coming from, like, a secular.
Well, I mean, it does, because the Lord is our hope.
Yeah.
He's who we cling to.
Yeah. When we were talking about, like, what things we wanted to touch on today, you said something about, like, is being fit
godly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like going into that, like, where's the line?
Yeah.
Where's the line between, like, take care of the body the Lord has given you and fuel it well, and, you know, like, for example, I have a sister who's nonverbal autistic, and there are things that I could do in the gym, like running with my motor skills, that she could never do. And I felt convicted to not, I guess, belittle my abilities that I do have, and not to, I guess, just sit idly by. And I should be very thankful for the abilities I have and use them, because not everyone has that privilege and that blessing. And then also just that, like, respecting your body as the Lord's temple and, like, a gift to you. I don't know, like, I wrote that not even as, like, a point, but as, like, a question, like, does fit equal godly, and, like, where is that line?
I feel like when I hear the word fit, I think of, like, the gym and exercise. Like, I don't necessarily think someone has to have, like, work out to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many other ways.
And also goes into mental, too. Like,
yeah. So what is fit? Yeah. Fit mentally, like, that's such a good point.
Like, what is
we
fit?
only think about fit as physical so many times.
I mean, because you think about it, sometimes there's, like, is someone mentally fit
for
this?
Right. But also, like, I might be mentally fit in an area where you're not, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's just how we're created.
Same thing with physical. For example, majority of times, biologically, guys are going to be able to lift more with their arms, and, like, pull-up stuff are going to be easier for them. Women are going to do better with legs a lot of the time. So does that make one more fit than another? No, it's just different.
Right.
So I feel like, in a way, like, where people try to weaponize fitness through, like, godly lens, and I'm just kind of like, I get it, but also, we're gonna get new bodies when he returns.
And we need to approach that topic differently.
Yeah, we do. And I feel like it needs to be less of, like, a shove underneath the rug.
Yeah. It needs to be less of, like, get your booty in the gym, and more of, like, how are you taking care of yourself?
That, and I also just feel like, at least for me, like, you can't walk around with, like, a freaking tattoo on your forehead being like, I have an autoimmune disease, I have this family issue, blah, blah, blah. No one cares.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to sit there and say everyone who's overweight has an issue. Like, sometimes it's just from, like, you choose that lifestyle. Partially it's because I choose a very, like, sedimentary lifestyle for a while there. But also, like, you don't know what is in someone's history and, like, medical history that they're not telling you.
Right. Well, also, like, we talked about this. So, like...
So it's, like, accountability and, you know what I mean?
Like, you experienced this recently. I've experienced this. Like, going to the doctor.
Oh, my gosh. I hate
and stepping on the scale and then having... And also, like, I don't know why this made me more upset, but the fact that it was a female nurse or doctor.
Doctors are so mean.
And she was like, your BMI is in the obese category. Like, you don't know my muscle mass. You don't know my water weight. You don't know my autoimmune.
Or water weight. Like, so it's like, BMI needs to be thrown away.
Also,
BMI was measured off of men.
A white male in like his 20s and 30s. I don't remember his age.
Why are we still using that? We're in 2025.
That's a great question. The diet industry.
Freaking diet culture.
The diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is making money off of keeping us in a state of hating our bodies. If a diet worked, there wouldn't be so many.
No, there wouldn't. There wouldn't. That's actually such a great point.
But this is a whole nother, like, kind of topic, but, like, the whole, like, holistic and, like, in the medical field, how big pharma is, like...
It's all connected. Like, have you ever seen the zoomed out thing where it's, like, who owns Kellogg and all this stuff? And it's, like, okay, well, who owns all these pharmacies?
Well, they're trying to keep us sick so that they can continue to make money. The diet industry is different.
Same thing.
Why do you think they're
unrealistic diets? It's unrealistic diets that they'll put people on. Like, what was that big one? There's a huge one that was going on in my high school when I was a freshman. Optavia. The Optavia freaking diet. That is not sustainable. You're eating literally, like, these nasty little pellets of Scooby treats. Like, that's not sustainable in life. And you're literally living in chains to that food. And I remember girls sitting there and encouraging each other not to eat or to do Optavia, and they would do it together. Why are your parents paying for that when you're not even an adult? One. Two, that's not maintainable. Yeah, you're going to drop weight, but you're going to gain that right back on because it was not a lifestyle change.
Well, also, I think of, like, I feel like when I was struggling with everything, and still, like, you just... Excuse me. This is apparently sparkling water.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Anyways, it's not the right drink choice for this. But, like...
Hey, your body's talking to you.
It's doing what it needs to do. Like, just hearing that carbs are bad, don't eat carbs. If you want to lose weight, no carbs, blah, blah, blah.
You need carbs,
okay, I'm sorry. Your brain, that is its primary source.
Carbs exist. God would not put them into the world unless we needed them.
Yeah, listen, your brain only wants to run off of carbs.
Yeah. Should you be eating only carbs? No.
Right.
But you need it on your plate.
But like...
It's so annoying.
The diet culture gets me fired up. Like, truly, I will stand on a rooftop with a microphone or a megaphone or whatever it's called and yell at people because it makes me mad.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you.
I know
because I'm just like, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think about my babies that I nanny, that I live literally in my whole world, and I think about the youngest two who are little girls. I think about the boy, too, because I know he's going to hear certain messages surrounding his body, but I'm not a boy, so it's different. But I think about my baby girls and, like, what they're going to hear and what they're going to think about their bodies because we just live in this sinful, broken, tainted world, and it absolutely breaks my heart.
It does.
But then it's also, like, okay, we didn't start this war with body image, but we absolutely have responsibility in ending it.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, okay, when they're looking at me and watching me, what are they going to see about how I view myself?
A lot of girls will get their body image from their moms. So I've always made the joke where it's like, it's going to sound so, like, secular, but my daughters will think I'm, like, the finest girl to ever walk the earth with humility. With humility. Even if I don't feel that way about myself, just because I don't want to model that behavior.
Right.
For them.
I saw this reel on Instagram. I actually reposted it, but it was, like, me healing now
so I can do that for my daughter.
Yeah, so that my daughter doesn't, learn or whatever it said.
I don't want to teach them my toxic behaviors.
No. It would
because they're already going to have it bombarded at them in every other corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to keep it out of my house.
Yeah.
I don't even want a scale in my house when I have kids. I don't want one in my house.
There will absolutely be zero scale in the house. No. That's another thing we talked about, how, like,
But again, because scales don't account, whatever. They just don't account for everything, and it's just stupid.
No. But okay, since when did weight? Okay, because
come out. Like, sorry, go ahead.
I'm like, my blood is probably boiling internally right now. Because also, like, I know, like, I messed up and weighed myself the other day. There is a scale in the house that I live in. I know it's not in my room, but I was like putting laundry away or something, and I was like, I just want to know.
I don't need to didn't understand that. That was me shooting Ella. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for those of you not watching the film and just hearing, but anyways, I was like, I saw the number and immediately just it ruined the rest of my day and like the rest of the next week of my life. And I was like, okay, since when did a number, like, there's no like health that goes with a number?
Yes.
Also, my worth is not in a number.
Yes.
It's a stupid number.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, that was a note I had. Nourishment over numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go to calories too. I also have something to go.
Do you remember the first time you walked into a restaurant and the calories were on the menu? Because it has not always been that way.
I feel like the only time I knew that was at Cheesecake Factory, and I was like, man, I'm like die. Because I was like, why does this have like 16,000
on the menu?
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I walk in there, and if there's calories on the menu, okay, well, one, I've struggled with food for so long, I could look at a plate and give you a pretty accurate ballpark of the calories. Because I've counted them for so long, and it's really hard to untrain your brain, whatever. That doesn't really matter. But how overwhelming it is to walk in there and feel like you're choosing your meal because of the numbers.
Oh, and also how they always say, like, oh, if you're this age and you're female, this is the max amount of calories you need to have every day. Well, actually, that doesn't take in a lot of different factors, including activity and all this.
A ton of different factors.
So I'm like, I think it's stupid. I don't know. For all the medical, like, advances we have made, why are we still so archaic?
I don't know. It, like, really stresses me out. And I feel like one of the numbers that we see
like, I know you have the funding.
Fix it. Right. Well, again, they just want to keep it sick because they want our money. I'm so fired up right now. It's like not even funny.
Can I talk on like all this vein where it's like, again, where it's like, small is beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so say we're even like fit, and we're going to be more specific about when we say fit because we're like, what is fit?
Yeah.
So in this term, I'm talking about physically fit, and I say that with quotes. The amount of times I've heard a guy look at a muscular girl and be like, oh, that's ugly. So you don't want them to be overweight, but you don't want them to be muscular. They have to be weak. They just be like weak and petite.
Yeah.
Also,
well, that's the standard.
Please, also, like, I actually should re-say that. I'm not trying to make fun of the girls who are petite, and I know there are people like my mom, like when she was younger, like said she struggled like putting on weight and different stuff like that. So I'm not trying to belittle that struggle. I'm just speaking from the one I've came from.
Right.
So I want to say that, like, I understand that, like, body struggles look different for everyone.
Well, because I feel like all we see on social media and like TV are the models who are like at an unhealthily low weight,
or people want tone over muscle, or like, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I understand people think,
but like, just like the standard of being a stick.
Like, yeah, and I'll go in the gym. I'll be like, I hit like a PR last week, and I was really excited about it. I'm like, this is great. And I looked at my arms, and I was like, well, I don't really have like petite little arms, but I'm like, but like those are the arms that like got me my PR.
Yeah,
and I'm happy with that. So it's like the like joy and the grief coexisting of like, I'm so happy I can lift more weights now because scientifically that needs to be talked about more about how much lifting weight for women is so important with joints and bone health. And just even just like aging, and it's going to help you so much. Yeah. Anyways, that's a whole other tangent. But like that grief coexisting of, okay, I think I'm doing this right. I'm so like excited about like this PR and like working on this skill I've been working on forever. But also being like
wanting to wear a certain outfit that only petite women can wear.
Yeah, or just like even being like looking at myself when I was overweight and like out of dreams I've been at this point to where I am and I've worked so hard for, and then also me still not being happy about it because I'm like, okay, well now I feel like I'm not too muscular by any means. I have a long way to go. But, like, being like, oh, well, like, now my muscles are making me bigger.
Yeah. Well, because when we are trying to achieve standards of the world or human approval, it's never going to be enough.
That's true. And it's just, like, honestly, like, what's funny is Alex mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, she came in and she's like, hey, can we talk about body image today? Our other topic we were going to talk about is comparison is the thief of joy.
It
I feel like
absolutely goes together.
It goes together. So honestly, we should probably do that one next.
Yeah.
But again, like that is why body image is so forefront of our mind, because what are we doing? We're comparing all the time.
I feel like we're getting close to like time. Not that we have a time limit, but just for the sake of this not being a 6-hour podcast, because it could be. But
you want to let us know, because clearly we're like rolling.
We might need to do one for real.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about for a second like body image in the Lord. Like he created us. He said our bodies are good, very good.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I don't know how to phrase it, what question I wanted to ask you, but like when you think of like biblically and what God says about your body, like
he says it was very good. Honestly, our worth is in he made us to be our identity in him. It doesn't even really like body doesn't really come up to me. Like for me, I think our bodies are more so a tool. Like it's a tool to hold our soul and to hold the Holy Spirit. Because it is our temple for him. And yes, we should take care of it as a tool, but it's just that it's a tool. It's not our one all be all. Right. And he made it good. And if you actually take a step back and just view your body as the vessel that it's supposed to be for you, rather than how it looks, it's just amazing how everything works, like your organs and the blood vessels, how everything in your system works, how you breathe, how you think. And I just think it's just so amazing. And it's kind of makes me a little bit guilty sometimes, just because I'm so focused on the outside shell of my body. I don't really think I'm taking into account all the amazing little miracles that are happening within our body, like every second, literally. And all of that is so unique and specific and intentional. And also on the same vein, I don't know if everyone's heard the parable of like God being the potter and the clay, and how he's so the potter when you're the clay, and
that he literally formed you.
He formed us in our mother's womb, but also knit us together.
Is such an intentional
word.
Like, and here's another thing that I was thinking of too. Like, when you are thinking about how much God loves you, like, I don't think our minds will ever be able to fully grasp that on earth.
Well, honestly,
but like, if you're thinking about how much he loves you, you're not thinking about your body.
No, you're not.
So, like, when I am focused on my body or, like, sitting at the table and stressing about my food, I'm not focused on him.
Yeah, that's true. And I also think about, like, what am I looking for, like, in my friends, and, like, if I ever got a spouse one day, I don't really care how they look. Like, I know that sounds so, like, I'm so, like, perfect girl. I don't care how they look. Yeah. But, like, genuinely, like, I want, like, a good person to be loyal, who's going to be, like, loving to my family, like, all the things. Looks, it's just, like, okay, if you look great, that's great. Yeah. But, like,
here's another thing. Like in Genesis, when he said, like, he created mankind and said it is very good. We can't change that.
No, we can't.
Like, sin, obviously, like, we're in a broken world. Like, he has his redemption plan, and he's not redeeming, like, what he created. He's redeeming... I'm tripping over my words. Almost like... I had this so good in my head earlier.
You want a second to, like, think about it? Because I can talk about something while you think about it.
I feel like I'm going to lose it. Like, he's not redeeming... Like, when sin entered the world, it didn't change or taint the way he views us. His redemption is to bring us back to his will.
I mean, that's just the thing. Like, these bodies are temporary. They're going to fall away, and we're going to get new ones.
But he's also not up there, like, oh, I'm waiting for Ella to get to this weight or this fitness level to love her.
Doesn't care,
because that's not what he cares about. I mean,
I had that on for
comparison.
But wait, I had a note on comparison. I don't remember what it was. Did I write it down? I don't remember.
I feel like there's so many things I just want to spit out because I want to, like.
Wait, what is it? I don't know. I'll touch on it during comparison. But, like, back on my point about, like, potter and clay, I felt convicted for it's like when I'm sitting there insulting myself and how I look, I'm slapping the Lord in the face every single time because he made me specifically. Every single part, he thought through it. And so I'm basically being like, oh, your art's ugly. I'm talking to the creator about that. So when I'm like smacking down on myself, unless it's like conviction, I'm slapping the Lord in the face. And that has, like, convicted me a lot.
Do you think you can heal from, like, body image and comparison without, like, confession and repentance?
No.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because in a certain degree, I'm such, like, I think I'm a little bit of a mean person when it comes to this stuff, but, like, I'm very much so an advocate of taking ownership. And that's another thing is, like, I not belittle and struggle. Clearly, you can see in this podcast, I struggle with body image, but
Mhm.
like, my thoughts are my responsibility. And yes, Satan's attacking me, but like, I need to take ownership of those,
Yeah.
and I need to be able to come to the Lord and be like, hey, like, I'm struggling with this, but like, I take ownership of it and
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah, it's also like, Lord, search me.
Yeah.
And show me, like, because I think so often, like, when I'm struggling, like, sometimes I will just say something so degrading about myself, and I don't even catch it.
Mm-mm. So it's like, even like you say, like, Lord, help me have the eyes to see and the ears to
Mhm.
hear. I pray about that a lot in my thoughts,
Mhm.
where it's like, Lord, help me hold my thoughts captive, because I feel like I sin the most in my thoughts,
Mhm.
because no one sees those.
Yeah.
And it's easier to hide.
Yeah.
This is random, but before we started a podcast, we were talking about like body image and is it in the Bible, and my initial thought was no, because I was like, it doesn't really talk about it. But then Ella made a really good point about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and kind of just how like, yeah, like, God didn't like give us body image, but like, when sin entered the world and they ate from the tree, they learned body image. And
Yeah.
you're talking about how they were
it's not
hiding.
like Genesis talks, like, says the words body image or
Yeah.
body shame, but it was like temptation, sin, shame,
Mhm.
and they hid.
Yeah,
They hid their bodies.
Yep.
And so it's like, it absolutely is in the Bible, and I think, like,
at the
body
very beginning
image-
of it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, that like mental, or not mental, but like that image of like the iceberg, and like you can only see the
and
tip
then
of
how
the
big it is.
iceberg and how big it is under the water. And I really think like body image is the tip of the iceberg. Like, what's the root?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think so oftentimes, like, shame, insecurity, but like
Identity.
and all of that is addressed in the Bible.
Identity.
Like, none of that is like separate from the other, you know?
Also, I think you could put in there idol.
For sure. Because we kind of talked about this. You're either obsessing, like, over your body or like exercise or the way you eat or whatever, like that extreme, or you're completely neglecting, like, couch potato. Like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what my body is like, but then
neither
one of those is like treating your body as a tool.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might have to do part 2 on this.
We might do part 2 on it, but I do think, I felt like this was very heavy, and I was hoping to give more of like a reassurance to it and like growth. But I honestly feel like low-key our part 2 is going to be comparison as a thief of joy, and kind of like how to counteract that, because I feel like that's a huge subsect, or not even subsect, but I feel like that's like very much so runs parallel to body image.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we can end. I mean, this has been heavy, like, because it's so prevalent and it's so heavy, it just in every single day.
Yeah.
Like, what's your piece of encouragement that you would want to give, like, in the midst of like how heavy this is and will be?
Your body's not what defines you. Remember whose you are, and remember your identity, and remember you're chosen. And also that, like, this is not it. Like, we are going to get new bodies in the new heavens and new earth, and we have been redeemed, and we're going to continue to be redeemed. But definitely try to start talking to yourself as if you were talking to a different person, because that's going to reveal a lot to you.
Yeah.
A lot to you.
Yeah, like, sometimes I write, like, in my journal, I write letters, like, to, well, now I've got 2 little girls I can write letters to, but before the youngest, the baby, the 5-day-old was born, I was writing letters to the 16th-month-old as if she was the one saying the things that I say to myself, because the way I would speak to her is never the way I would speak to myself. But again, like I said, like, if I so lovingly want to nourish her and love her and speak life over her, how am I any different?
Yeah. And like, with that, like, try to find the balance between ownership and giving yourself grace. And that's a difficult balance to find, but just praying about it. I'm still learning. Yeah, but what would you say?
I think just that, like, in how broken this, like, topic and, like, struggle is, like there is healing.
Yeah.
And there is peace and there is joy to be found when you allow the Lord to step in. Because I do think that like he looks like when we talk to him about this, or like right now, like I mean he weeps with us when we weep over these things. And like
I was going to talk about with the comparison, it's like you rejoice with those who rejoice and you weep with those who mourn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing that with us.
Yeah. I wonder if he was sitting on the couch right now, what he would say.
He is, but
well,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
No, I know. I think he'd be sad.
I think he'd be sad, and I think he would literally just want to say over and over again, like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yeah. And we're his. And I guess this is my last little like takeaway note, like for myself, and it probably applies to some people listening, but like go into more work of going underneath that iceberg and finding out what is pushing up that body image issue, because I feel like I am very good at just like labeling it body image and be like, okay, that's that's my main maintenance.
Yeah.
But no, I need to actually like hunker down and getting it down and dirty.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's totally worth it.
For sure. Do you have any last like little remarks, or should we wrap it up?
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Unfun Friends.
We love you guys. Go after, if you make it through this whole thing, go do something to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Because that was a heavy one, I know for sure.
Give yourself a word of affirmation.
Yeah, me and Matt, we need to go do something that we enjoy doing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're about to go shop, ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think the package got delivered.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
I need to check my phone.
We can do something else. That'll be fun.
Retail therapy is still great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on our socials, the Unfun Friends Pod.
Yeah.
On Insta, and then again wherever we end up streaming this from. And then we will have a blog ? Soon.
Website.
But
soon. That will, I mean, we're building that currently, but by the time this is
posted, the website will be up, and it's the Unfun Friends. www.theunfunfriends.com.
Yeah.
Anyways, we love you guys. Again, please DM us and let us know what you think.
Any questions, thoughts, concerns,
do you want a part 2? Do you not?
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. Yeah.
What's our outro? Stay real.
Keep it fun. Keep it candid.
And let's talk
about it. Bye.
Bye, guys.